get close to it. It's almost like a powder.
Looks like you're about on the bottom step.
I'm going to step off the limb.
Why are people explorers? If people weren't explorers, we wouldn't be sitting where we are today. This country wouldn't exist today. It's in human nature to be explorers. But it's even become more than that, because for the first time in a long time, we are seriously leaving low Earth orbit.
Ignition sequence start. 3, 2, 1, 0. Launch commit. Liftoff. We have liftoff.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
In 1989, President Bush had announced we were going back to the moon and onto Mars. But it never happened. Now it's happening. Those systems are being designed, the vehicles are being ready, the crews are in training, and it's going to happen. And A&M's now poised in a perfect position to be leading that effort.
In 2017, NASA announced their plan to return to the moon, not just to collect rocks and dirt, but to inhabit it, to discover water and live sustainably, and eventually move on to Mars. They called their mission Artemis.
Artemis is the twin sister in Greek mythology to Apollo. And with the Artemis program, we're going to go to the moon, and we will learn to live on another body, and then we'll go to Mars. And we know to do that, we need to have other partners. So we signed a Space Act agreement with A&M a couple of years ago. We've been working with A&M for years, but this allows us to have a concentrated effort on what we'll be doing together.
And as we look to the future of space, one thing is clear. Those who reach for the stars do so from the Lone Star State, the great state of Texas.
A&M has a storied legacy in space. Long before I came to Texas A&M, we've had faculty doing research in space-related topics for decades. In fact, the latest search shows about 300 faculty at Texas A&M who are doing space-related research.
And A&M is the only one that I know of that employs 4 former astronauts on their campus. And so really, I think it's that legacy of being a land grant, sea grant, space grant institution, which again is very unique. And it's not about the few people like myself that have the privilege of actually going on a space mission. It's the tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people that it takes to make those missions happen and make it a reality, to produce the systems, to engineer the systems of tomorrow.
And to occupy the moon, NASA is going to need that army. They'll be going where no one has gone before, where shadows and temperature extremes will pose unique challenges and will require almost every facet of human ingenuity.
All the challenges that we face living on Earth are extremely amplified, trying to live on the lunar surface. Being able to find water is going to be very important. And then communication and power and energy. And what does that sound like? That sounds like the Texas economy. These are the activities that A&M faculty and students are engaged in right now. So going after this extreme challenge is going to be really great for the state of Texas and all these industries that we have right here.
All of our tough challenges for the future are multidisciplinary. And so what the Space Institute can do, and what I can do personally, is draw on expertise from our Health Science Center, draw on expertise from AgriLife, draw on expertise from our College of Arts and Sciences, our program of visualization, and clearly from an engineering college that is second to none in terms of size. That's what personally drew me here. And now when I'm able to leverage the Texas A&M Space Institute.
Beyond its multifaceted partnership with NASA, The Texas A&M Space Institute was appropriated $200 million to build a new facility that can pioneer research, develop new technologies, and train astronauts for the Artemis program and beyond.
I'm super excited about the Space Institute. And I know that it's going to be a marvelous, marvelous facility that's going to have a moonscape and a capability for us to be able to have rovers, our astronauts, everything working together in one place. And so when we get that very large facility that's going to be right outside of the gates here, and we can have our astronauts go over, our engineers, our scientists, and work with students and with others from industry in one place, it is going to be magnificent.
This new facility is going to be the world's largest indoor moonscape, 2.5 acres of moon, and that'll lock in the next generation of work in the civilian space sector. And while we're at it, we went ahead and threw in a 2.5 acre Marsscape too. So that locks in the next generation after that. So Texas is going to be at the forefront of the next 2 generations of space exploration because of this investment.
In a multitude of garages will be private industry of all sizes. Some of the very well-known companies that are out there developing spacesuits, developing rovers, and some of the small startup companies. In the next garage, perhaps U.S. Space Force, working on some of their projects. In the next garage, some of the NASA Johnson Space Center research is going on. In the next garage, academic research to include students. And so everybody's working in this very collaborative environment, leveraging these very unique scape environments that are inside. And so all of this in this roughly 400,000 square foot facility, we're going to be able to offer to the state of Texas, whether they be industry, military, government, or academic.
I love the fact that this is going to be a place where we can have community. And so the community that will be built in at this particular facility will be a community that's going to be also on the surface of the moon. So we will have, internationals that will come and be a part of this. We'll have our students, we'll have, our industry partners working in that facility. And then guess what? When they go to the moon, we'll be going together.
Howdy! Howdy! Thank you so much for being here to mark this tremendous occasion with us. The Texas A&M University Space Institute will serve as a launch pad for innovation, collaboration, and opportunities that extend beyond our state to literally impact the world.
When they called me in roughly about a year ago and described this vision for the Texas A&M Space Institute and the incredible funding supported by the state for a physical facility co-located at the Johnson Space Center, how can you say no to that? I was super excited. Never did I envision that my 2 kind of careers would intersect like this. Personally, it's very rewarding.
Space, obviously, today touches almost every part of our economy. Agriculture, transportation, medicine, shipping, construction now uses space. That when it goes right, you don't even know that space is an important part of your life. But if it were to stop working, you notice it really quickly. But now think about the future. With the investments and the faculty and the students and the infrastructure that we've got, A&M is going to be the #1 space university in the world.